Hello. Welcome. Back to the YouTube thing. How you doing? Ah. No time like the present. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? With specifically Leviticus of the King James Version of the Bible. Chapter 14. And you know what? Could start in verse 12 or 16 or whatever. You know, I think it'd be better if we started at verse 1. It may just be me. So let's get started, shall we? And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, This is the law of the leper in the day of his cleansing. He shall be brought unto the priest. And the priest shall go forth out of the camp. And the priest shall look, and behold, if the plague of leprosy be healed in the leper, then shall the priest command to take for him that is to be cleansed 2 birds alive and clean. So, like for an example, when it talks about an animal being clean, it's specifically mentioning the diet for Israel. So, like for an example, you couldn't bring like a vulture. But like a quail, that's just fine. 2 birds alive and clean, and cedar wood, and scarlet, and hyssop. And the priest shall command that one of the birds be killed in an earthen vessel, over running water. Make certain you clean all the gunk out, in other words. As for the living bird, he shall take it, and the cedar wood, and the scarlet, and the hyssop, and he shall dip them, and the living bird, in the blood of the bird that was killed over the running water. And he shall sprinkle upon him that is to be cleansed from the leprosy 7 times, and shall pronounce him clean, and shall let the living bird loose into an open field. Yeah, this one may be a bit of a stretch, but you know, a bird that was killed. Dip the living bird in the blood of said dead bird that was sacrificed. Running water could easily be the fact that it rained after Jesus' death. I'll grant you that one's probably a bit of a stretch, but hey, what you gonna do? And he shall sprinkle upon him that is to be cleansed from the leprosy 7 times, and shall pronounce him clean, and shall let the living bird loose into the open field. And he that is to be cleansed shall wash his clothes, and shave off all his hair, and wash himself in water, that he may be clean. After that he shall come into the camp, and shall tarry abroad out of his tent 7 days. Make certain nothing happens. Last time we were talking about the fact that leprosy could appear in your hair, which is why the shaving, and in the walls of your tent. So, just in case, best to just not. But it shall be on the 7th day, that he shall shave all his hair off his head, and his beard, and his eyebrows, even all of his hair he shall shave off. And he shall wash his clothes. Another place where the leprosy could appear. Also he shall wash his flesh in water, and he shall be clean. And on the 8th day he shall take 2 he-lambs without blemish, and 1 ewe-lamb. In other words, 2 male lambs and 1 female lamb, of the 1st year without blemish, and 3/10 deals of fine flour, for a meat offering, mingled with oil, and 1 log of oil. However much any of that is, I do not know. And the priest that maketh him clean shall present the man that is to be made clean, and those things before the Lord, at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the priest shall take 1 he-lamb, and offer him for a trespass offering, and the log of oil, and wave them for a wave offering before the Lord. And he shall slay the lamb in the place where he shall kill the sin offering, and the burnt offering in the holy place. For, as the sin offering is the priest's, so is the trespass offering. It is most holy. And the priest shall take some of the blood of the trespass offering, and the priest shall put it upon the tip of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot. Kind of like when they were anointing the priests. And the priest shall take some of the log of oil, and pour it into the palm of his own left hand. And the priest shall dip his right finger in the oil that is in his left hand, and shall sprinkle of the oil with his finger 7 times before the Lord. And the rest of the oil that is in his hand shall the priest put upon the tip of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, upon the great toe of his right foot, upon the blood of the trespass offering. And the remnant of the oil that is in the priest's hand he shall pour upon the head of him that he is to be cleansed, and the priest shall make an atonement for him before the Lord. And the priest shall offer the sin offering, and make an atonement for him that is to be cleansed from his uncleanness, and afterward he shall kill the burnt offering. And the priest shall offer the burnt offering and the meat offering upon the altar, and the priest shall make an atonement for him, and he shall be clean. And if he be poor and cannot get so much, then he shall take 1 lamb for a trespass offering to be waved, to make an atonement for him, and 1/10 deal of fine flour with oil for a meat offering, and a log of oil, and 2 turtle doves, or 2 young pigeons, such as he is able to get. Because, he's poor, he can't get too much. And the one shall be a sin offering, and the other a burnt offering. And he shall bring them on the 8th day for his cleansing, unto the priest, unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, before the Lord. And the priest shall take the lamb of the trespass offering, and the log of oil, and the priest shall wave them for a wave offering before the Lord. And he shall kill the lamb of the trespass offering, and the priest shall take some of the blood of the trespass offering, and put it upon the tip of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot. And the priest shall pour of the oil into the palm of his own left hand, and the priest shall sprinkle with his right finger some of the oil that is in his left hand 7 times before the Lord. And the priest shall put of the tip, and the priest shall put of the oil that is in his hand upon the tip of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot, upon the place of the blood of the trespass offering. And the rest of the oil that is in the priest's hand he shall put upon the head of him that is to be cleansed, to make an atonement for him before the Lord. He shall offer the one of the turtle doves, or of the young pigeons, such as he can get, whichever one's good, even such as he is able to get, the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering, with the meat offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for him, that he is to be cleansed before the Lord. Excuse me. This is the law of him in whom is the plague of leprosy, whose hand is not able to get that which pertaineth to his cleansing. And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, When ye be come into the land of Canaan, which I give to you for possession, and I put the plague of leprosy in a house of the land of your possession, and he that owneth the house shall come and tell the priest, saying, It seemeth to me there is as it were a plague in the house. But I tell you, it's in the walls. And the priest shall command that they empty the house before the priest go into it to see the plague, that all that is in the house be not made unclean. See, in other words, off chance you have a leprosy in your house, maybe move everything out so it doesn't get the leprosy as well. And afterward, the priest shall go in to see the house, and he shall look on the plague, and behold, if the plague be in the walls of the house, with hollow strakes, in other words, like stripes that are completely and utterly hollow, and where was I? Greenish or reddish, which is in sight lower than the wall. Then the priest shall go out of the house, of the door of the house, and shut up the house 7 days. And the priest shall come again the 7th day, and shall look. And behold, if the plague be spread in the walls of the house, then the priest shall command that they take away the stones in which the plague is, and they shall cast them into an unclean place without the city. Basically the dump. And he shall cause the house to be scrapped within, round about, and they shall pour out the dust that they scrape off without the city into an unclean place. Makes sense. And they shall take other stones, and put them in the place of those stones, and he shall take other mortar, and shall plaster the house. And if the plague come again, and break out in the house, after that he hath taken away the stones, and after he hath scrapped the house, and after it be plastered, then the priest shall come and look, and behold, if the plague spread in the house, it is a fretting leprosy in the house. It is unclean. And he shall break down the house, the stones of it, and the timber thereof, and all the mortar of the house, and he shall carry them forth out of the city into an unclean place. Basically, you got mold. And if you got enough mold in your house, best you just tear the whole thing down. Same basic deal with this leprosy. Moreover, he that goeth into the house all the while that it is shut up shall be unclean until the even. Because, plague could spread to you, so best to be safe. And he that lieth in the house shall wash his clothes, and he that eateth in the house shall wash his clothes. And if the priest shall come in, and look upon it, and behold, the plague hath not spread in the house, after the house was plastered, then the priest shall pronounce the house clean, because the plague is healed. He shall take to cleanse the house 2 birds, and cedar wood, and scarlet, and hyssop, and he shall kill one of the birds in an earthen vessel over running water. And he shall take the cedar wood, and the hyssop, and the scarlet, and the living bird, and dip them in the blood of the slain bird, and in the running water, and sprinkle the house 7 times, much like they did with the guy that had leprosy. And he shall cleanse the house with the blood of the bird, and with the running water, and with the living bird, and with the cedar wood, and with the hyssop, and with the scarlet. But he shall let go the living bird out of the city into an open field, and make an atonement for the house, and it shall be clean. This is the law for all manner of plague of leprosy, and scall, and for the leprosy of a garment and of a house, and for a rising, and for a scab, and for a bright spot, that teach when it is unclean, and when it is clean. This is the law of leprosy. Give me just a moment. Eyes be thirsty. Delicious. Chapter 15, baby. And the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When any man hath a running issue out of his flesh, because of his issue, he is unclean. I'm pretty sure this is like, bleeding. I don't think it's like, diarrhea or something, though I could be wrong. It could be any running issue, I'm not certain. I'm pretty sure, however, it is just blood, but I'm not certain. Either way, he's considered unclean. In which, considering he is bleeding profusely, I'd say so. It's not exactly what I would call sanitary. And this shall be his uncleanness in his issue, whether his flesh run with his issue, or his flesh be stopped from his issue. It is his uncleanness. Every bed whereon he lieth, that he hath the issue, is unclean, and everything whereon he sitteth shall be unclean. And whosoever toucheth his bed shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. With all this law about being clean, you can really tell where that old saying of cleanliness is close to godliness came from, because, yeah, unsurprisingly, he'd rather you not get sick. So best to be clean, Be sanitary. And whosoever toucheth his bed shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And he that sitteth on any thing whereon he sat, that hath the issue, shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And he that toucheth the flesh of him that hath the issue shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And if he that hath the issue spit upon him that is clean, then he shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. Because, that's disgusting, and considering this guy is already sick, clearly, that's a disease that could spread very easily, especially considering he just spit on you. Gross. And what saddle soever he rideth upon, that hath the issue, shall be unclean. And whosoever toucheth anything that was under him shall be unclean at the even. And he shall beareth any of those things. And he that beareth any of those things shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. Hold a moment. I'm getting warm. Hello. I'm back. I'll normally have the air conditioning on because, the air conditioner open because it gets kind of cold in here, but now I'm just hot. Ugh. Let's see. Where was I? And whomsoever he toucheth, that hath the issue, and hath not rinsed his hands in water, he shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. It's like, good job, man. Did you wash your hands before you patted my shoulder? I don't think I did. Let me go do my laundry. I'll be right back. Basically that. You gotta be careful. As I've stated before, this is the era before modern medicine and vaccines and all that such. If you got something, even if it's what we would consider a mild something, it could be bad. So best to be as clean as possible. And the vessel of earth, like a clay pot, that he toucheth, which hath the issue, shall be broken, and every vessel of wood shall be rinsed in water. And when he that hath an issue is cleansed of his issue, then he shall number to himself 7 days for his cleansing. Make certain it's done. And wash his clothes. And wash his clothes, and bathe his flesh in running water, and shall be clean. And on the 8th day he shall take to him 2 turtle doves, or 2 young pigeons, and come before the Lord unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. and give them unto the priest. And the priest shall offer them, the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for him before the Lord for his issue. And if any man's seed of copulation go out from him, then he shall wash all his flesh in water, and shall be unclean until the even. And every garment and every skin whereon is the seed of copulation shall be washed with water, and be unclean until the even. Basically, this is where a lot of people say that masturbation is a sin. And while I do, to an extent, agree, I do believe it's lust, if nothing else, or at least brought on by it. Yeah, that's not this. That's not this at all. This is just, if you're in the middle of doing the do, whether it's with yourself or with somebody, and some of your stuff, as it states, the seed of copulation, it gets on yourself or something of yours, wash it. Because that's a bodily fluid where a bodily fluid should not be. And that is gross. Very, very gross. Woman also with whom man shall lie, with seed of copulation, they shall both bathe themselves in water, and be unclean until the even. And if a woman have an issue, and her issue in her flesh be blood, she shall be put apart 7 days, and whosoever toucheth her shall be unclean until the even. Because, she's bleeding. Just wash your hands after that. And everything that she lieth upon in her separation shall be unclean. Basically, when ladies go on through a period, basically. Again, she's bleeding everywhere. It's not exactly what you'd call the most sanitary thing in the world. So best be clean. Best wash your hands. Wash anything that got the blood on it, And everything that she lieth upon in her separation shall be unclean. Everything also that she sitteth upon shall be unclean. Similar to the other guy with his issue. And whosoever toucheth her bed shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And whosoever toucheth anything that she sat upon shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And if it be on her bed, or on anything whereon she sitteth, when he toucheth it, he shall be unclean until the even. And if any man lie with her at all, do the seed of copulation, and her flowers be upon him. In other words, she's still bleeding. He shall be unclean 7 days, and all the bed whereon he lieth shall be unclean. And if a woman have an issue of blood, of her blood, many days, out of the time of her separation, in other words, this has been going a little longer than it should, or if it run beyond the time of her separation, all the days of the issue her uncleanness shall be as the days of her separation. She shall be unclean. She's gonna be a tad unsanitary till this is done. I don't care necessarily if the days are that she was supposed to be separated and busy is fulfilled. She's still bleeding, therefore she's still not clean. Every bed whereon she lieth, all the days of her issue shall be unto as the bed of her separation. And whatsoever she sitteth upon shall be unclean, and the uncleanness of her as the uncleanness of her separation. And whosoever toucheth those things shall be unclean, and shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. But if she be cleansed of her issue, then she shall number to herself 7 days, and after that she shall be clean. And on the 8th day she shall take unto her two turtle 2 turtles. I presume this means turtle doves. I don't think it's actual turtles. I could be wrong, it's just a little weird to change it now. Or 2 young pigeons, and bring them unto the priest, to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the priest shall offer the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for her before the Lord for the issue of her uncleanness. Thus shall she separate the children of Israel from their uncleanness, that they die not in their uncleanness when they defile my tabernacle that is among them. And don't get sick. This is the law of him that hath an issue, and of him whose seed goeth from him, and is defiled therewith, and of her that is sick of her flowers, and of him that hath an issue of the man, and of the woman, and of him that lieth with her that is unclean. Yes. Now, chapter 16, baby. And the Lord spake unto Moses after the death of the 2 sons of Aaron, when they offered before the Lord, and died. And the Lord said unto Moses, Speak unto Aaron thy brother, that he come not at all times into the holy place, within the veil before the mercy seat, which is upon the ark, that he die not. There's a process. You can't just come in here willy-nilly. There is a process you gotta do first. Within the veil before the seat, which is upon the ark, that he die not. For I will appear in the cloud upon the mercy seat. Thus shall Aaron come into the holy place, with a young bullock for a sin offering, and a ram for a burnt offering. Now remember, the tabernacle itself was split into two. The first part is where the average priestly things was going on, the burnt offering and all that such. Then there was a veil. Beyond that is where the Ark of the Covenant and all that such was. So basically, before you go into the beyond the veil, to where the Ark of the Covenant is, cleanse yourself. Sacrifice that sacrifice for yourself, so that you're coming in clean, Thus shall Aaron come into the holy place with a young bullock for a sin offering, and a ram for a burnt offering. And he shall put on the holy linen coat, and he shall have the linen breeches upon his flesh, and shall be girded with the linen girdle, and with the linen... I still don't know how to pronounce this. Mitre? I've really got to look this up. M-I-T-R-E. Shall he be attired. These are holy garments. Therefore shall he wash his flesh in water, and so put them on. In other words, take a bath, then put on your work uniform. And he shall take of the congregation of the children of Israel, 2 kids of the goats, for a sin offering, and 1 ram for a burnt offering. And Aaron shall offer his bullock for a sin offering, which is for himself, and make an atonement for himself and for his house. And he shall take the 2 goats, and present them before the Lord, at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And Aaron shall cast lots upon the 2 goats, 1 lot for the Lord, and the other lot for the scapegoat, which is where the term scapegoat comes from, by the way. And Aaron shall bring the goat upon which the Lord's lot fell, and offer him for a sin offering. But the goat on which the lot fell shall be the scapegoat. But the goat on which the lot fell to be the scapegoat shall be presented alive before the Lord, to make an atonement with him, and to let him go for a scapegoat into the wilderness. So basically, the children of Israel would bring Aaron, or the high priest, whatever, 2 goats. I don't know necessarily how Aaron would do this, so I'm just gonna guess he goes eeny, meeny, miny, mo, And one of them would be for God. And that's the one that would be killed and sacrificed and all that such. The second would be the scapegoat, which gets to escape. Because, the other one already took his place. So he gets to just go free. Now, typically what would happen is they would kind of have like a chain going, where one of the priests would go and walk the goat yay far away from the camp. And another priest would, once again, walk that goat from there further away from the camp, so on so forth, until the camp was completely and utterly just gone in the distance. And then, congratulations, you'd let the scapegoat go. That way, it doesn't come back. And Aaron shall bring the bullock of the sin offering, which is for himself, and shall make an atonement for himself, and for his house, and shall kill the bullock of the sin offering, which is for himself, and he shall take a censer, full of burning coals of fire, from off the altar before the Lord, and his hands full of sweet incense beaten small, and bring it within the veil. He's ready, but not done yet. And he shall put the incense upon the fire before the Lord, that the cloud of the incense may cover the mercy seat that is upon the testimony, that he die not. Because remember, when speaking to the Lord, he's going to be sitting right there. And you can't look upon his face and live. So best thing to do is to get a little bit of a mist going so he's not visible. He shall take of the blood of the bullock, and sprinkle it with his finger upon the mercy seat eastward. And before the mercy seat shall he sprinkle of the blood up with his finger 7 times. Then shall he kill the goat of the sin offering that is for the people, and bring his blood within the veil. And do with that blood as he did with the blood of the bullock. Sprinkle it upon the mercy seat, and before the mercy seat. And he shall make an atonement for the holy place, because of the uncleanness of the children of Israel, and because of their transgressions in all their sins. Basically not any individual person, but like the collective whole, and all their problems. The sins of society, basically. And so shall he do for the tabernacle of the congregation, that remaineth among them, in the midst of their uncleanness. And there shall be no man in the tabernacle of the congregation when he goeth to make an atonement in the holy place, until he come out, and have made an atonement for himself, and for his household, and for all the congregation of the children of Israel. It is just the high priest, and no one else, except God himself. Other than that, entire place is empty. He's got to do this on his own. And he shall go out unto the altar that is before the Lord, and make an atonement for it. And shall take of the blood of the bullock, and of the blood of the goat, and put it upon the horns of the altar round about. And he shall sprinkle of the blood upon it with his finger 7 times, and cleanse it, and hallow it, from the uncleanness of the children of Israel. And when he hath made an end of reconciling the holy place, and the tabernacle of the congregation, and the altar, he shall bring the live goat. Here it is. Here's what I was thinking of. The live goat being the scapegoat from earlier. And Aaron shall lay both his hands upon the head of the live goat, and confess over him all the iniquities of the children of Israel, and all their transgressions in all their sins, putting them upon the head of the goat, and shall send him away by the hand of a fit man into the wilderness. And the goat shall bear upon him all their iniquities, unto a land not inhabited. And he shall let go the goat in the wilderness, as stated, far enough away that the camp that Israel is currently in and the land of Israel, when they get it, is just not visible. Just out there in the middle of dadgummit nowhere. And that there is the scapegoat. And Aaron shall come into the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall put off the linen garments, which he put on when he went into the holy place, and shall leave them there. And he shall wash his flesh with water in the holy place, and put on his garments, and come forth, and offer his burnt offering, and the burnt offering of the people, and make an atonement for himself and for the people. And the fat of the sin offering shall he burn upon the altar. And he that let go the goat for the scapegoat shall wash his clothes, and bathe his flesh in water, and afterward come into the camp. Because, it's been a bit of a journey, you gotta make certain you're clean. And the bullock for the sin offering, and the goat for the sin offering, whose blood was brought in to make an atonement for the holy place, shall one carry forth, without the camp, just outside of it, and they shall burn in the fire their skins and their flesh and their dung. And he shall burneth them. And he that burneth them shall wash his clothes, and bathe his flesh in water, and afterward he shall come into the camp. Because, you don't want to be covered in, dung soot, basically. That's just disgusting. And this shall be a statute forever unto you, that in the 7th month, on the 10th day of the month, ye shall afflict your souls, and do no work at all, whether it be one of your own country, or a stranger that sojourneth among you. Nobody take a break. Hear me. For on that day shall the priest make an atonement for you, to cleanse you, that ye may be clean from all your sins before the Lord. It shall be a Sabbath of rest unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls by a statute forever. In other words, no matter what you want to do, no matter what you wanted to get done that day, no. Take a break. Can't be working 24/7. It's not good for you. And the priest, whom he shall anoint, and whom he shall consecrate to minister in the priest's office in his father's stead, when Aaron's dead, shall make the atonement, and shall put on the linen clothes, even the holy garments. And he shall make an atonement for the holy sanctuary, and he shall make an atonement for the tabernacle of the congregation, and for the altar, and he shall make an atonement for the priests, and for all the people of the congregation. And this shall be an everlasting statute unto you. It's not going to stop. To make an atonement for the children of Israel for all their sins once a year. And he did as the Lord commanded Moses, as ye do. Now, chapter 17, baby. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron, and unto his sons, and unto all the children of Israel, and say unto them, This is the thing which the Lord hath commanded, saying, What man soever there be of the house of Israel, that killeth an ox, or lamb, or goat, in the camp, or killeth it out of the camp, and bringeth it not unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, to offer an offering unto the Lord before the tabernacle of the Lord, the blood shall be imputed unto that man. He hath shed blood, and the man shall be cut off from among his people. Pretty simple. Delicioso. Love water. To the end that the children of Israel may bring their sacrifices which they offer in an open field, even that they may bring them unto the Lord, unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, unto the priest, and offer them for peace offerings unto the Lord. I'm not certain why he would be so dead set on it, other than the fact that the priests gotta eat. And once again, if they're gonna be doing this constantly, so they're not exactly gonna have time to be shepherds or farmers or anything along that line, so God's using this to feed them, as well as, of course, do the whole sin offering and all that such. The atonement. So that may be why God's being so insistent upon doing this. It may not be that the beast's blood, the goat, lamb, or whatever, shall be imputed unto the man, but the priest's blood. Because, they could have eaten that. I'm not certain, actually. But, hey, what do I know? I'm just a dude. I'm random man on the internet 127. And most certainly not Jewish. I don't know the culture. All I can tell you is what I'm guessing. Now, I'm learning. But yeah, I'm the clue. And the priest shall sprinkle the blood upon the altar of the Lord, at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and burn the fat for a sweet savour unto the Lord. Hold on, I don't think I fully finished verse 5. So let me go back. To the end that the children of Israel may bring their sacrifices which they offer in the open field, even that they may bring them unto the Lord, unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, unto the priest, and offer them for peace offerings unto the Lord. And the priest shall sprinkle the blood upon the altar of the Lord, at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and burn the fat for a sweet savour unto the Lord. And they shall no more offer their sacrifice unto devils, after whom they have gone a whoring. The idols. This shall be a statute forever unto them throughout their generations. And thou shalt say unto them, whatsoever man there be of the house of Israel, or of the strangers which sojourn among you, that offereth a burnt offering or sacrifice, and bringeth it not unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation to offer it unto the Lord, even that man shall be cut off from among his people. There's a very specific way to do this. Do it properly. And whatsoever man there be of the house of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn among you, that eateth any manner of blood, I will even set my face against that soul that eateth blood, and will cut him off from among his people. I'm not 100% certain as to why on that one, other than the fact that is disgusting. I cannot imagine that's good for you. But it could have to do with, the cleansing power of blood, and both of the blood of the atonements and the sacrifices that we've been reading, and also blood of Jesus. So eating that's not exactly the best symbolism. I think it's probably a combination of the two, of it's just being unhealthy and it's not great. But yeah. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you upon the altar to make an atonement for your souls. For it is the blood that maketh an atonement for the soul. See, stated. At least part of it's symbolism. But I tell you. Therefore I said unto the children of Israel, no soul of you shall eat blood, neither shall any stranger that sojourneth among you eat blood. And whatsoever man there be of the children of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn among you, which hunteth and catcheth any beast or fowl that may be eaten, he shall even pour out the blood thereof, and cover it with dust. Because you ain't eaten it. For it is the life of all flesh. The blood of it is for the life thereof. Therefore I said unto the children of Israel, Ye shall eat the blood of no manner of flesh, for the life of all flesh is the blood thereof. Whosoever eateth it shall be cut off. And every soul that eateth that which died of itself, in other words, just one day for no explicable reason, just keeled over one day, or that which was torn with beasts, whether it be one of your own country or a stranger, he shall both wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and shall be unclean until the even. Then shall he be clean. But if he wash them not, nor bathe his flesh, then he shall bear his iniquity. Because if, let's say, thing keeled over one day for no explicable reason, could be old age, could be complete fine, could also be diseased, not a good idea to eat that. And then, of course, torn by the beasts, like a wolf got to it or something, once again, could have been fine. 100% could have been fine. Wolf could also had rabies. Now those rabies germs, they's in the meat. Best not. But if you do, just make sure to wash your hands. Just at least do that, And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, I am the Lord your God. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do. Neither shall ye walk in their ordinances. Ye shall do my judgments, and keep mine ordinances, to walk therein. I am the Lord your God. Basically, there's a lot of stuff that happened in Egypt, and there's a lot of stuff that the people of Canaan are doing. I do not want you doing that. Bad idea. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them. In other words, this is not a one-time deal. This is how you live. This is like being I've been equating it recently as being on a diet. You're not just on a diet at home. You're not just on a diet at work. This pervades the entirety of your life. Everything you eat is on this diet. Because if you're not doing that, if you're dieting at work and eating 5 pounds of cheesecake at home, congratulations, the diet's not gonna work. Now, are you gonna be perfect? No. But doing your best to keep that diet, it's gonna be hard sometimes. Most certainly it is. But doing your best to keep that diet in all aspects of your life, that's what's gonna get the diet to actually work. And it's the same thing with God, and what He says and does, and says we should do, and don't. A lot of people will be like, I go to church on Sunday, I'm fine. It's not that big a deal. They'll be the best Christian you ever did know. On Sunday. Every other day, not so much. Or at the very least, they'll be the best Christian you ever did know. In the church. Every other time after that, they're just gonna do whatever the heck they want. Much like that diet, it's not gonna work if you do that. This is a lifestyle. Not an every once in a while style, I guess. But what precisely does God not want these people to do? Obviously not doing after the people of the land of Egypt and Canaan, but what specifically is he talking about? Verse 6, he's gonna start telling you. None of you shall approach to any that is near of kin to him, to uncover their nakedness. In other words, the seed of copulation. I am the Lord. He's going to emphasize that quite a bit. The nakedness of thy father, or the nakedness of thy mother, shalt thou not uncover. We ain't going for that Oedipus complex, and we ain't going for whatever the other half of the Oedipus complex is. We're not doing that. She is thy mother. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of thy father's wife shalt thou not uncover, whether it be your blood mother or not. It is thy father's nakedness. In other words, it'd be basically the same deal. I mean, if they are considered one flesh, then if she's naked, he's naked. It's not the best. The nakedness of thy sister, the daughter of thy father or daughter of thy mother. Doesn't matter which. Whether she be born at home or born abroad, even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover. The nakedness of thy son's daughter, or of thy daughter's daughter, even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover. For theirs is thine own nakedness. That's your own blood. That just brings shame upon you. That, and it's disgusting. And not great. The nakedness of thy father's wife's daughter, begotten of thy father. She is thy sister. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. I ain't having none of that step sibling nonsense. No, do not do that. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's sister. She is thy father's near kinswoman, and close enough to you to where that is not good. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy mother's sister, for she is thy mother's near kinswoman. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's brother. Thou shalt not approach to his wife. She is thine aunt. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy daughter-in-law. She is thy son's wife. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy brother's wife. It is thy brother's nakedness. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter. Neither shalt thou take her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter to uncover her nakedness. For they are her near kinswoman. It is wickedness. Neither shalt thou take a wife to her sister to vex her, to uncover her nakedness, beside the other in her lifetime. I'm not 100% certain what that one means, but just by the way it's phrased, I don't like it. Also, thou shalt not approach unto a woman to uncover her nakedness, as long as she is put apart for her uncleanness. In other words, you know that issue of blood? Yeah, that. Best not to do that. That's just gonna get you and her sick. Moreover, thou shalt not lie carnally with thy neighbor's wife, to defile thyself with her. And this is one of the main reasons that God gives later on for why the people of Canaan maybe don't negotiate with them. And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire of Molech, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. I am the Lord. Because you see, one of the main reasons he gives is the fact that they are burning their children alive to sacrifice to their god. This is the same guy that states, "Let a millstone be wrapped around their neck, anyone who hurts these little ones." He's not a fan when you hurt a child. Not a fan at all. And this is the one people get mad at. In which realistically, you can stay that way all you wish. God still says it. God still says no. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination. A lot of people say that that's like prostitutes and all that such, but no. No, it's not. For one thing, a lot of people said that there's prostitutes in the temple. A temple doesn't exist right now, so that doesn't apply whatsoever. Second of all, God doesn't want you to lie with womankind like that, let alone mankind. And considering thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind, that's not what he's talking about, and you know it. This is just pure and utter seed of copulation. It is an abomination. Neither shalt thou lie with any beast, to defile thyself therewith. This just makes me think of stories about Zeus. Neither shall any woman stand before a beast, to lie down thereto. It is confusion. Just don't do that. It's a bad idea. Defile not ye yourselves in any of these things, for in all these the nations are defiled, which I cast out before you. And the land is defiled, therefore I do visit the iniquity thereof upon it, and the land itself vomiteth out her inhabitants. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, and shall not commit any of these abominations, neither of your own nation, or any stranger that sojourneth among you. And while many people would like to argue with that, I point them to Jesus. I forget the specific verse, but it states very specifically, not one jot nor tittle, i.e., not one dot of the I or cross the T, is gonna be removed from that law. It ain't changing. So don't do that. Nothing's changed. Let's see. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, and shall not commit any of these abominations, neither any of your own nation, nor any stranger that sojourneth among you. For all these abominations which the men of the land have done, which were before you, and the land is defiled. The land spew not you out also, when ye defile it. That the land spew not you out also when ye defile it, as it spewed out the nations that were before you. In other words, if you do this, you're getting kicked out. For whosoever shall commit any of these abominations, even the souls that commit them, shall be cut off from among their people. Therefore shall ye keep mine ordinance, that ye commit not any one of these abominable customs, which are committed before you, and that ye defile not yourselves therein. I am the Lord your God. In other words, this ain't a Moses thing, this ain't an Aaron thing, this ain't a me thing. This is God. This is him right here. Now, I will note, because a lot of people tend to immediately go to this. Does this mean we should hate anybody? It doesn't, yes? No, God also very specifically states don't hate anybody, because that's stupid. But he also says don't do any of that. You want to take it up with someone? Don't shoot the messenger. Talk to him. Thank you. God bless. And bye.